Hallo, I hope you're doing well. Ek hoop dit gaan goed. Today we are doing adjectives, byvoeglike naamwoorde. I realize I didn't mention it before, what it is in Afrikaans, but it's byvoeglike naamwoorde. So I think I'll just stick with adjectives for the lesson. We are focusing on degrees of comparison and intensive forms. I will explain intensive forms when we get there, and I hope you enjoy them as well. So let's do our greeting and then we'll go from there. Goeiemiddag, hoe gaan dit vandag? Ook goed. Ons doen trappe van vergelyking. Ek hoop jy voel perdfris. We are doing degrees of comparison, and I hope you are healthy as a horse. So, trappe van vergelyking is that degrees of the comparison. Something is white, that is whiter, that's the whitest. That is pretty, that is prettier, that is the prettiest. That's just another form of adjectives. And then the perdfris, this is horse healthy or horse strong. Which is an intensive form in English. An intensieve vorm in Afrikaans. It doesn't translate right in English saying intensive form, but it's really describing something really intensely. Oh, that is really green. That's grass green. That's really high. That is heaven high. We have lots of those expressions, and I'll be doing a few. So let's look at stompie. We still have stompie as always. And we are describing the subject, we are describing the time, the object, the place, and we can add details to the infinitive. And you'll see I have not color-coded the adjectives, I have kept them black, just because they go everywhere. So I don't want to color them purple and then pink and then blue and then orange. They describe the thing in the sentence, so I'm just keeping them as black as I do the verbs. Okay, and then for today, we are looking at degrees of comparison, and then the next lesson will be comparing colors and people using the degrees of comparison and some adjectives, and looking at the intensive forms. Let's go. Just to give you the Afrikaans words for the degrees of comparison, you've got your root word here, which is your stellende trap. Remember, I'm calling it, or it's called Trappe van Vergelyking, degrees of comparison. So die stellende trap, vergelykende trap, en vergrotende trap. English, the positive, the comparative, and the superlative. Now, this stellende trap, or the positive degree, is just what it is, like almost like the dictionary form once again. The comparative, you're saying this, dit is so groot soos as dit, and dit is die grootste. So we'll be comparing them with examples in each step. So let's start. Wit is witter as die witste. Dun is dunner as die dunste. So you will be using the is and the as, comparing different things in a sentence, and we'll be doing examples. Skoon, skoner, skoonste. Geel, geeler, geelste. Okay, remember when we did adjectives, attributive and predicative adjectives. Geel or colors do not inflect, and that's fine. But geel can be compared in trappe van vergelyking, in degrees of comparison. So, oh, that is more yellow than this or that, or this is the yellowest. So they can be compared, but they cannot be inflected. Cool. Ver, verder, verste. Ooh, verste. What a nice word. Chopping it after that first R, so you have verste. If you find yourself that the R is like influencing the next few words, like you're going verste, and you can't quite get the ver and ste, you should try to breathe after that R. Verste. When you're practicing it, and then your mind will start separating, or your breath would start separating those sounds, your mouth probably. Verste. Okay. Swaar, swaarder, swaarder, swaarste. Besig, besiger, besigste. So let's look at that there. Besigste. Almost short breath. It doesn't sound like you're going for 4 seconds and going besigste. So don't think that's how it sounds. You are just taking a short micro breath in between there. Mooi, mooier, mooiste. Vuil, vuiler, vuilste, vuil, vuil. Cool, cooler, coolste. The expression of saying, wow, that's cool, C-O-O-L, is used in Afrikaans a lot. And even myself, I think probably because I was like a teenager in the 90s, it was, ooh, this cool, that's by cool. But this cool refers to being cool, as in cold, or the aircon is on. Dit is cool. Seer, seerder, seerste. Hoog, hoër, hoogste. Be careful with the spelling of this hoër. You have the diaresis there to separate the HO from the ER, so it is hoër. If you don't have that diaresis there, you have the word hoer, which means prostitute. So just be careful if you're spelling it. People will understand, obviously, but it can be a funny misunderstanding. Okay, so let's do some sentences comparing it. Die paal is wit. Okay, I just want to slide back to the previous one. Can you see that the paal is wit? And then we're going to use is witter as, is die witste. Let's see an example sentence. You can use this template at the top as is wit, is witter as, is die witste. So die paal, this paal is wit, is white. Die paal is witter as daardie paal. Die paal is die witste. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a few sentences in the assessment, and then you can be comparing them. Ah, this is green, this is the greenest, this is blue, this is the bluest, this is big, that's the biggest. And you will see that the ste at the end of the sentence gives that grootste. Any word that you can, it's an adjective, just add that ste, then you know, ooh, that is die mooiste. Okay, and that's it. Let's make myself a bit bigger for a moment. The next thing that we're going to do in the lesson, or the next lesson, will be comparing people and comparing things and looking at intensive forms. Lekker dag vir jou. Bye bye.